Hey everyone, and welcome. Okay, let's dive right into this amazing new explainer. Today, we're exploring a wonderful grade 3 Kannada story called Madhumaathu, which translates to polite speech. If you're 8 or 9 years old, or you're just looking to absolutely crush your upcoming exams, you are in exactly the right place. We're going to go through this entire story in simple English, pick up some fantastic new Kannada vocabulary, and make sure you're 100% ready to ace that test. Sound good? Let's go.
Here is our adventure map for today. We'll start with 1, the muddy problem, move to 2, rude words get no help, 3, the master's polite lesson, 4, soft words work magic, 5, quick story and vocab revision, and we will finish up with 6, the big exam quiz.
All right, part 1, the muddy problem.
Now, I want you to just close your eyes for a second and imagine a really rainy, gloomy day. The rain is just pouring down, the roads are completely covered in thick, sticky mud, and someone is about to have a very bad day on their way to work. But before we get to that, we need to meet our 3 main characters. First up, we have the Vyapari, which means the merchant. He's a man traveling to sell his goods. Second, we have the Yuvaka, which means the young man. He's just a boy walking by on the road. And finally, we have Ramappa Mastararu, or Ramappa Master, who is a very kind and wise teacher. So keep the Vyapari, the Yuvaka, and the Mastararu in your mind as we kick things off. So our story begins with the merchant, the Vyapari, driving to the market. Let's learn our first words. Sante means market. You can try saying it with me. Sante. Here's a brand new practice sentence for you. Nanu santege hode. I went to the market. Now he's driving in his tempo, which is a goods vehicle. Tempo wegovagi hoitu. The tempo went fast. But because it had rained balu, which means very or much, like in the sentence ihovu balu sundawarava gide, meaning this flower is very beautiful, the road was just a complete mess. Because it rained so much, the tempo's wheel gets hutohogu, which means to get stuck in the mud. Think of it like this. Chendu kezaranali hutohoyatu. The ball got stuck.
Now, what's really interesting here is the merchant's reaction when he gets stuck. He sees the young man walking by, and instead of asking nicely, he just yells in this super arrogant voice, Lo baro ekade. This was said by the merchant to the young man. He said it because his vehicle was stuck, and he desperately needed help. And it translates to, hey, come here. Not exactly the most polite way to ask for a favor, is it?
Which brings us to part 2. Rude words get no help.
As you might guess, the young man is pretty surprised by how rude the merchant is being. But the merchant doesn't stop there. He fires off this really long, bossy sentence. Listen to the emotion here. Yeno, hag norteya? Chakra hutu hogirodu kanisodilve? Ba, swalpa chakra eto, nanu gaadi chalu martene. Again, this is the merchant speaking to the young man. Let's break it down. He's saying, what? Why are you looking like that? Can't you see the wheel is stuck? Come, lift the wheel a bit, I will start the vehicle. He's literally ordering the boy around like a servant.
Let's look at 3 very important words from that dialogue. Chakra means wheel. Cycle chakra tiruguttade. The bicycle wheel turns. Next is chalu, which means to start. Appa karu chalu maridaru. Dad started the car. Now, the young man really did not like the merchant's dhati. Dhati means tone or manner of speaking. For example, avana matina dhati chanagide. His speaking tone is nice. But in our story, the merchant's dhati, his tone, was just incredibly disrespectful.
Because the merchant's tone was so bad, the young man gets understandably annoyed. He looks right at the merchant and says, Nine etiko naniki etali. This is said by the young man to the merchant. It simply means, lift it yourself. Why should I lift it? He says this because the merchant was acting rude and didn't even bother to say please.
Moving on to part 3, the master's polite lesson.
Right at this exact moment, while the two of them are arguing on this muddy road, our third character arrives. Ramappa Master is walking by and he hears the whole thing. Let's make sure we have our words locked in here. Masteru means teacher. Masteru pata matidaru. The teacher taught the lesson. Teachers are wise. And let's remember Vyapari means merchant. Vyapari hanu marutane. The merchant sells fruits. Well, the Masteru is about to teach the Vyapari a very important life lesson.
The master walks right up to the merchant and speaks in a really gentle, wise voice. Nodri ಯಜಮಾನರೇ, ಯಾರೇ ಆಗಲಿ ಗೌರವ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಮಾತನಾಡಿಸಬೇಕು. ಆ ಹುಡುಗನನ್ನು ಮಾತನಾಡಿಸಿದ ರೀತಿ ಸರಿ ಎಂದು ಅನಿಸುತ್ತದೆಯೇ ನಿಮಗೆ? ಅವನನ್ನು ಪ್ರೀತಿಯಿಂದ ಮಾತನಾಡಿಸಿರಿ,
ಆಗ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕೆಲಸಕ್ಕೆ ಆತ ಸಹಾಯ ಮಾಡೇ ಮಾಡುತ್ತಾನೆ. So this is the master speaking directly to the merchant. And he says, "Look, sir, speak with respect to everyone. Do you think the way you spoke to that boy was right? Speak to him with affection, and he will surely help you with your work."
Let's see how this builds in Part 4, Soft Words Work Magic.
The merchant really listens to the master. He realizes, wow, I made a massive mistake. He sees that his harsh words pushed away the very person who could actually help him out of the mud. So he decides to completely change his tone. He turns back to the young man, but this time his voice is soft and polite. Tama, deamari kshamisu, tempo de chakra etalu sahaya madhuveya. This is the merchant speaking to the young man. He's saying, little brother, please forgive me. Will you help lift the tempo's wheel? Just look at the difference there. He uses the word please, and he asks a question instead of barking an order.
The master hears this new tone and he's thrilled. He looks over at the young man and cheerfully says, "Ye matanu modole helabahuditalla, bappa gileya, ivarige swalpa sahaya madona." This is the master speaking to the young man. He says, "Couldn't he have said this earlier? Come, friend, let's help him a little." And just like that, the young man smiles. Both he and the master pitch in. They help the merchant lift the wheel out of the mud, and the merchant happily thanks them both before driving away.
Part 5. Quick story and vocab revision.
First off, huge congratulations! You just finished the story of Madhumaathu. You did an absolutely amazing job following along. But we know a big exam is coming up, right? So the crucial point is understanding the sequence of the story so you can ace those questions. If they ask you what happens first, next, and last, you have it right here. Step 1, the merchant's tempo gets stuck in the mud. Step 2, the merchant rudely demands help. Step 3, the young man refuses to help. Step 4, the master teaches the merchant to speak politely. And finally, Step 5, the merchant asks kindly and gets the help he needs. It's like a puzzle, and now you have all the pieces.
Now here is exactly what you are definitely going to see on your test. The who said it matching questions. Let's lock this in together. Lo borrow a kade, or hey, come here, was said by the merchant to the young man. Nene etiko, or lift it yourself, was said by the young man to the merchant. Nodri yajamanare, or look sir, speak with respect, was the wise master to the merchant. And tama dayamari kshamisu, or brother please forgive me, was the merchant apologizing to the young man.
Part 6, the big exam quiz.
All right, team, shake out your arms, take a deep breath. It is time for the final challenge. I'm going to ask the questions, and I want you to literally shout the answers out loud right at the screen. Let's see how much you remember. Round 1, dialogues. Ready? Question 1, who said, lift it yourself, why should I lift it? That's right, the young man. Question 2, who said, speak with respect to everyone? Yes, Ramappa Master. Question 3, who said, little brother, please forgive me? The merchant. Now, to whom did the master say, speak with respect? To the merchant. To whom did the merchant say, hey, come here? The young man. To whom did the young man say, lift it yourself? The merchant. Excellent job. Finally, why did the young man refuse to help at first? Because the merchant's tone was incredibly rude. And why did the merchant yell for help in the first place? Because his tempo's wheel was stuck in the mud.
Moving to Round 2, Vocab Magic. What is the English meaning of sante? Market. What is the English meaning of chakra? Wheel. What about dati? Tone or manner. And huto hogu? To get stuck. Brilliant! Now for the super challenge. Can you remember the new Kannada practice sentences we learned today? What was the sentence for tempo? Tempo vegavagi hoitu. The tempo went fast. What was the sentence for chalu? Apat charu chalu maridaru. Dad started the car. What about balu? Ihovu balu sundaravagide. This flower is very beautiful.
Wow, you absolutely crushed that quiz. Before we wrap up, just 2 quick story questions. Who helped the merchant lift the wheel at the end? Both the master and the young man. And where was the merchant going at the very beginning of the story? He was going to the market, the Sante. Which brings us to our final and honestly most important question to leave you with today. What is the true moral of Madhumaathu? It is simply this. Polite words cost absolutely nothing, but they can buy everything. The way you speak to people really matters. Always speak with respect, and you'll find the world is happy to help you. Thank you so much for learning with me today, and best of luck on your exams. You're going to do great.